And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Ryan Metzler.
Hey everybody, it's Ryan here again, and today we're looking at the fourth game in the Mystery Rummy series, which is Mystery Rummy Al Capone and the Chicago Underworld. It comes in a small box, and this is actually the box for this one this time. It's one of the few boxes for card games I can actually find. And inside of it we have some components, cards and a rulebook, so why don't we take a look at those. With Mystery Rummy Al Capone, we have yet again one of these fold-out rule sheets, and we're back to a terrible layout. So we've had some Mystery Rummy games with good layouts, some with bad layouts. This one's kind of out of order and hard to follow. It's best if you go through the whole thing once, then go through it again and make sure you try and get it in order. So if you can skip around and read it in order, it'll really help out a lot. But this is not a great way to learn this game. So I would try and get somebody to teach you, maybe. The second component that Mystery Rummy Al Capone comes with is a nice large deck of cards. Now it's large because this game, unlike some of the others, is intended for anywhere from 2 to 4 players. This is not primarily a 2-player game. It is meant to expand up to 4, and there's even a 4-player team variant of the game in which you can try and share melds as you make them. The cards are nice. They're not of terribly great quality. They're actually not as thick as some of the other Mystery Rummy games, but they are of good stock, easy to read, easy to distinguish, and all around not too bad of cards. Mystery Rummy Al Capone consists of 2 separate types of cards. The first is evidence cards, which are notated by spyglassing the upper left-hand corner of the cards. Here we're looking at all of the Al Capone cards included in the game, one of the type of evidence cards. These cards are special because collecting all 8 of the Al Capone cards results in a shutout for the player who collects them. Unlike some of the other Mystery Rummy games, collecting an entire set of cards in Mystery Rummy Al Capone provides bonus points. Instead of the regular 8 points you would get for scoring all of these cards, the number indicated in the upper right-hand corner of each card, you would score 30 points as a bonus. Other colors of evidence cards, such as the gray Franz Needy cards, also provide bonuses for collecting the entire set. There are 6 cards in this set, and they result in a bonus point value of 25 points, rather than their usual 12 for collecting 6 cards worth 2 each. A third example is that of Murray Murphy's, who has 7 cards in his set, which would be usually worth 14 points, but instead are worth 30 if you collect the entire set. The second type of card included in Mystery Rummy Al Capone are gavel cards, which are shown by having a gavel in the upper left-hand corner. There are 4 types of these. The first is Raid, which you play into the discard pile and allows you to name one card of a type that you already have in play, and collect all copies of that card that are currently in play, adding them to your own cards. The second card of gavel type is Elliot Ness. You play him into the discard pile, and he allows you to draw the top 2 cards of the draw deck. Or, you may use him to turn over the top 7 cards of the draw deck and take any cards that match melds you already have in play. The third type of gavel card included is the Search Warrant. The Search Warrant allows you to look through the discard pile and take any one card, or look through the discard pile and take all cards that match one of your melds in play. Finally, is Agent Meeting. Agent Meeting allows you to play it and then ask every person else playing with you for one type of gangster. Gangsters being evidence cards. The first player to your left that has that card must give you one if he has it. If not, it passes around the left until somebody does have one to give you. Alternatively, you may use Agent Meeting in order to ask one opponent for one type of evidence card. They must give you all of that type of evidence card that they have in their hand. On a player's turn, they must first either draw the top 2 cards of the draw deck, or the top 1 card of the discard pile. In this case, I'm going to take the Ralph Capone card off of the top of the discard pile and add it to my hand. I may then play any amount of evidence cards in my hand, so long as I have at least 3 of a matching color to play to the table. I will now play my Ralph Capone meld of 4 cards to the table. In addition, I will play my Jake Guzik meld, of which I have 3. Additionally, on your turn, you may play 1 gavel card. In this case, I'm going to play a search warrant card to the discard pile. This allows me to pick up the discard pile and take any 1 card matching my melds, or any of 1 type of card, taking all that match that meld. I pick up the discard pile, search through it, and find a Jake Guzman card, which I will take to my hand and then add to my meld currently in play. The last thing you must do on your turn is discard a card to the discard pile. In doing so, you end your turn and your opponent's turn starts. Here we see a mid-game scenario for Mr. Rummy Al Capone. The player here has melded 4 purple cards, 4 green cards, and has laid off 2 blue cards on his opposing player's blue meld. The player here has played 1 purple card off of his opponent's purple meld and has melded both a blue and a somewhat lighter blue meld to his side of the table. So the game continues on in that manner, with players taking their turns, adding melds to the table, and discarding cards until one player is either able to discard his last card to the discard pile, or he's able to collect all 8 of the Al Capone evidence cards, resulting in a shutout and only that player scores. Now, in terms of how I feel about this game, at first I really liked it. We got a couple plays in the house, and we thought it was kind of interesting, the ability to take cards from your opponent's hand, to take them directly from the table, to kind of play a little variant of Go Fish and try and hope that you can get one from somebody in order to finish a meld. And that's a nice little touch, but it really doesn't change the base game of Rummy all that much. There's only 4 different types of gavel cards, which is a decent amount. It's somewhere between the least and the most seen in the Mystery Rummy games. But they really only allow you to either draw cards or to take something from your opponent. It's not all that much of a change. This is a fun game. It's very easy to learn if you don't really read the rule book and you just have somebody teach you. And it's pretty fun, but it's not the best. If you're looking for something that's very similar to Rummy, with only a few rule changes and maybe some theme, Al Capone's good for you. If you're looking for something a little bit more changed from the base game of Rummy, I would suggest one of the other Mystery Rummy games.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.